Truth and reconciliation are goals worth pursuing. Truth and reconciliation are undermined by false claims and by race-based laws. In May of 2021, Canadian media started to propagate the unsubstantiated claim that the remains of 215 children had been found at the Kamloops Indian Residential School. This inflammatory assertion was based on ground-penetrating radar, which can only locate soil disturbances like rocks, stones, trees, irrigation pipes. They cannot locate human remains. The only way to know whether there are human remains at the former Kamloops Indian Residential School is to do an excavation. However, the CBC, the CTV, and other government-funded media repeated the unproven allegation as a fact. After that, dozens of Christian churches were burned to the ground and destroyed by arson. The federal government has provided over $12 million to conduct an excavation to get at the truth of whether there are the remains of 215 children or a greater number, a smaller number, or no remains at all. $12 million given for the pursuit of truth. But here we are, more than 4 years later, in 2025, on the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and no excavation has been conducted. Perhaps the recipients of the $12 million are afraid of humiliation or embarrassment if the excavation turns up no bodies. But where is their love for truth, and where is their respect for taxpayers' money? Another serious obstacle to truth and reconciliation is the current closing of public parks in British Columbia to non-Indigenous Canadians. This is happening with the active participation of BC's Ministry of the Environment and Parks, which is helping Aboriginals to keep Asian Canadians, African Canadians, European Canadians out of public parks. This is not the way to reconciliation. In fact, to achieve reconciliation, we need to abolish the laws that are based on race, ethnicity, ancestry, and descent. Should the descendants of French and English settlers who can trace their Canadian-born ancestry back to the 1500s have superior or different legal rights over Canadians of Chinese and Japanese ancestry who can trace their Canadian-born ancestry back only to the 1800s, 300-year difference? Well, of course not. Should Chinese Canadians and Japanese Canadians have superior legal rights over recent immigrants that got here last week that don't have any Canadian-born ancestors? Well, of course not. Giving Canadians different legal rights based on how long their ethnic group has been living in Canada is a very bad idea. The best way to achieve reconciliation is to have all Canadians pay the same taxes, to have all Canadians have the same access to public parks, to have all Canadians enjoy the same hunting and fishing opportunities, and to have all Canadians equal before the law. Anything less or anything else is simply racist. I'm John Carpay. Thanks for listening.